Okay, so the purpose of this video is to show you how to make an Excel sheet where you can plug in your monthly or bi-monthly, bi-weekly, whatever, however you get paid into one box into Excel, and then it's going to spit out essentially how much you need to put towards each item in your budget. So that can be just your checking account for overall expenditures like rent, gas, groceries, things like that. It also spit out an amount that you can put towards debt, towards savings, towards your emergency fund. But this is a really good way to pay down debt if you have any debt. It's also a great way to save if you're saving for something specific. Also a great way just to keep yourself disciplined in how you're spending your money. And it tells you exact numbers. That way you're not guessing as to how much you can save or over saving to put you in a pickle later where you're low on money because you've saved too much. So this is a great way to know exactly how much you need to put in what account so that you're not under or over balanced for your finances. So on this page, you are putting in specific columns of income, the amount of income that you're bringing in, and then other debts, you're basically listing them. So this could be credit cards, car loans, student loans, whatever it is, personal loans. You're putting how much the minimum amount is and then how much the total amount is. We'll go back and make everything look decent so it's not just crazy boxes everywhere. But essentially what you're wanting to do is break everything down on a monthly basis. So you could say your job income is X amount of dollars, and then you also have side hustle income. If you don't have a side hustle, it doesn't matter. Just don't list it. This is just an example. But it's important that you have listed the minimum amount that you need to put towards every debt every single month. That way that you're putting at least that amount towards debt every month. So let's say you make $3,000 per month and you also have $200 of side hustle per month. You also have a car loan of $350 a month. And then the total amount of the car loan is also $20,000. So you put minimum amount down or whatever it is, and that's your total amount that you owe. And then you also have a credit card that's not $2,200 minimum payment. That should be on the other side. Your minimum payment is $58 and your total payment is $2,200. So that's your balance on your credit card. Here you want to pay down your credit card first because the minimum payment is the least. So you're only going to be making your monthly payment minimum on your car payment until you have reached a full payoff of your credit card. And then just going to box everything in to make it look normal and nice. And that's about it on this page. The rest is just making it look nice. Okay, so going back to the first page that has expenditures, amount, and percentages, this is where you're going to list. Essentially, it makes it really easy if you just list all the accounts that you have. So if you have a checking account, a savings account, an emergency fund account, the first thing that you want to have listed is your checking account, next some sort of savings or debt maybe, and then emergency. As long as your emergency fund is at $1,000 already, then you can move on to paying off debt, but don't pay anything more than your minimum amount on your debt if you don't have that $1,000 saved. So you can see on the left-hand side, car, checking, savings, and emergency is what I'm listing under account/debt. So after that, I'm going to go in and basically put in how much I'm going to allot each of those categories towards my paycheck. So each of them will be assigned a percentage, and then it'll automatically do the math for the percentage of that amount and tell you how much you should be paying towards it. So obviously if you have $1,000 in your emergency fund, you don't need to assign a percentage towards your emergency fund. You can just leave it at 0 under the percentage column. If you have no emergency fund and you still have debt, well, you just want to put your percentages for your debt as your minimum amount that needs to be paid per month. So whether that's 2%, 3%, 10%, whatever it is, put it as that, but you only want to be paying the minimum amount if you don't have your emergency fund yet. And obviously your emergency fund will be as much as possible from that amount. So under this column of percentages, you want to make essentially a sum value for all of the amounts so that you can make sure that all of the percentages add up to 1. It's just an easy check to make sure you're not over accounting for a percentage in that column. Okay, so a good place to start on this is just to say you want to live on half of your income. So you just want to put 50% in checking and then just kind of go from there. Let's say that your minimum amount due per month is, I don't know, $400. We'll say 30% of that income is going to go towards that car. And then this assumes on this one that you don't have anything in your emergency fund yet, so you need to fund your emergency fund up to $1,000. So obviously you still need to make the minimum payment on your car debt, but in order to give yourself some sort of cushion, you're going to need to have that emergency fund allotted before you start paying down extra towards your debt. So this next part is just assigning the percentage to the amount and multiplying it times the paycheck amount. So essentially in that middle column that I'm in right now, it's going to be the percentage on the right side multiplied by the paycheck amount, and that'll equal the amount that you put towards that certain item. So you'll see once I put in a paycheck amount, it'll make the exact amount of money that you're supposed to put towards those funds. So on this one, it says that you would need to put 0.3% of your amount towards your emergency fund. So this is assuming you don't have any emergency fund. Roughly after 2 paychecks or 3 paychecks, assuming you make $1,500, you should only be you should have around that $1,000 mark in your emergency fund. Then you don't have to put anything in that percentage for emergency fund, so you can put that back to 0, and you can increase your percentage towards your debt or car payment. So the whole point of the percentage column is just to make it super easy on the fly if you wanted to change some numbers around. Obviously, there's no real constricting thing about this, that if you don't pay it, then nothing works. The only way that this works is if you pay the numbers in the amount column. So if you're overpaying on food and groceries and going out to eat, that's less money that you're allowed to put towards your car because you don't have it. So obviously you need to discipline yourself to make sure you're not overpaying in some categories and staying within the realm of what these numbers are in the amount column. So here I'm just playing around with realistically how much you would have to put each percentage at. So I think the minimum monthly payment for all of the debt in this example would be, I think it was like $380 or something. So I'm basically playing around with the percentage amount to make it so on my first payment or paycheck, assuming that you have a bi-monthly paycheck, your first paycheck would go towards paying off that first minimum payment, and then your second paycheck at the end of the month, whatever it is, middle or end, then that will be going towards the principal or an extra payment instead of your minimum monthly payment. So that allows you to pay down your debt a lot faster. So focus on the things that are the smallest first. So if you have extra money that is more than what you've already spent on the minimum payment and you want to pay down a debt, make sure you're paying down your smallest debt first so you can get rid of that minimum payment, and then you end up having more allowed later to put towards other payments. So this should be a really easy way to get out of debt or pay whatever down that you have, or even save towards something that you're looking forward to buying. But this is a great way just to make it really easy to know this is how much what I need to put towards what I'm looking to buy, and this is what I need to do in order to reach my financial goals. So use this at your discretion. This is not financial advice. This is just something that I've used in the past and has helped tremendously. So thanks for watching.